Now, is it hard to believe the season's over for another year?
Yeah, it's gone really quickly. An interesting year where we sort of moved forward in some regards and had some difficult patches along the way, but banged a lot of games into some kids who are still playing. They've got a final series to get through with Peel, hopefully back-to-back flags. But yeah, it's gone quick.
You doubled your win tally, but there are a few little moments there where you sort of regressed. How do you look at it as a whole? Is it a step forward?
I think so. Bit of a roller coaster with the early wins and then some late terrible losses. But as a whole, I think we definitely have moved forward. The stats around the young guys that are playing, 14 players with a total of 150 odd games, means that we've got some education into some players, and that'll really help us long term.
Nathan, after those two terrible losses, losing by just 15, was that almost like ending the season on a high?
Not really. No, we don't want to be a team that's gallant in close losses. But the spirit in which we played an energetic brand of footy. We came and competed, tackled quite well, took the game on, and I think everyone watching would have been pleased with the brand of footy that we played, and that's what we want to do going forward.
Fyfe, you're used to success, playing in successful teams. How tough was it for you personally to battle through a season and have some tough losses?
Yeah, it was a real challenge. Last time I played a full season out was 15, where we finished on top of the ladder. So this year presented a whole heap of new challenges, but ones that Ross and myself and the other leaders are keen to embrace. We've got a plan over a number of years, which we've committed to, and we're on that journey at the moment. There's going to be some ups and downs. We understand that. There's real personal growth that comes through that and challenge, but I'm enjoying that and look forward to building on it year on year.
You touched on the kids. Who in particular is really impressed you this year?
There's about 20 of them, but I think Luke Ryan, Griffin Logue, Brennan Cox, Sean Darcy, in particular, have shown they're going to be long-term players for our club. And we've got Darcy Tucker's just signed on, Lockie Weller, Connor Blakely, guys like that, Ed Langdon. We've got a whole range of guys between that sort of 18 to 24 age bracket who are going to stick with the club for the next 4 or 5 years. Build that continuity is what you need to be a top 4 team.
There's a saying about the second year blues and things like that. Do you have to really harp into them that you have to go strong during the off-season and pre-season?
I don't really think so. Everyone's going to face different challenges, particularly with bodies. Playing a full season of AFL footy is a taxing thing for a young player to do, and I've dealt with it. Lockie Neal's dealt with it. But we've got good strength and conditioning staff who will work with those guys and manage them through that period.
Now, what does the club need over the off-season? What would you like the club to bring in to help bring the club forward next year?
I don't think there's a hell of a lot that we'd really need to look externally to do. We've got the right people in the right places at the organisation at the moment to help us move forward. Potentially adding a little bit of fruit on the side with list management, but overwhelmingly it's using the personnel that we have at the moment in a coaching capacity and playing capacity, and developing them along.
How's your body now? Do you need any off-season surgery? Are you right?
No, touch wood. I've got through the season in really good condition, and I played 21 games, which I think is the most that I've ever played in a season, and that's off the back of a really big off-season, pre-season campaign. I'll play the international rules at the end of November, which will set me up for next year.
What's your reaction to not being named in the All-Australian squad?
That's news to me, so...
Well, I'm sorry to break it to you that way. I thought you would know, but unfortunately not one Docker has been named in the 40-man All-Australian squad.
Yeah, I think that's probably accurate. We've had 8 wins, and we've had a lot of guys, our best players, Michael Walters, Connor Blakely, Stephen Hill, Bradley Hill, who have had different injuries along the way, so you really have to stack a full season to be considered for that.
You had a pretty good finish though, didn't you? I mean, after signing your contract, your remaining games, you're probably in the best players every week. Did you feel like you're a bit unlucky and maybe you left it a little bit too late for the All-Australian selection?
Definitely not unlucky at all. I've had a wishy-washy year, but the last 8 to 10 games I've started to figure out how to play footy again and understand my body and know what's required. So, and that's what playing at the top level demands. I missed 12 months, and that was enough to really put me back amongst the pack, but I'm starting to figure out what I'm capable of again, and with a big pre-season, off-season campaign, look forward to a big year next year.
How was the captaincy for you? There were a couple of scenarios throughout the year. Connor Blakely's surfing, and a few of the boys, the Booze brothers that we dubbed. How was that as an experience for you, and how did you deal? From the outside look in, it looked like a pretty full-on punishment for a minor indiscretion.
Yeah, not really. No, we have standards that we agree on, and the whole group's in on that, players and coaches. And so when it comes to dealing with those issues or handing out punishments or whatever, it's spread across the leaders, the coaches and administration. So it's not as if I'm the fun police telling people what they can and can't do. The whole playing group decides on a set of standards, and that's what we expect.
Now, can I just ask you about the young fella? I think it's been on social media a bit today where the players walked off, and I'm not sure if you guys saw him or not, but he was after a high five and it didn't come forward. Did you see him? Did you see it? Do you have anything to say about it?
Yeah, I've been briefed on it this morning, and it's not great watching. We love all our fans that turn out, particularly all the fans that wear the number 7 on the back. So we didn't see the young fella and missed the opportunity to give him a high five. Usually we would, but I'm sure if he or his mum contacts the club, then we'll do the right thing.
Now, you personally mentioned that you're forward back half of the year. Is there anything particular you work on over summer that you feel you can make gains with?
It's sort of hard now that I'm at 8 going into my 9th season. The gains are only going to be incremental, but for me, developing my leadership capacity, developing Lockie Neal, Michael Walters as leaders, and getting a better handle on the group is probably where my growth is going to come from, making sure I'm in line with Ross and what his structure and philosophy is. From a playing and physical aspect, I'm pretty much at capacity and just need to make sure that my touch is right and I've played enough footy to be able to compete at the top level.
Will you be watching finals?
Yeah, I'll watch a bit of it, yeah. I mean, Peel are playing in the finals, so I'll be going to a few of those games, but always watching the competition to see what the best are doing.
Is it hard to watch when you're not involved?
It is, yeah.
Who wins?
Who wins from here? Who do you reckon wins?
I think Sydney.
Sydney?
Yeah.
I think it's a real flip of the coin at the moment, who plays well at the right time.
Mitch McGovern, would you be keen to have him in your forward line next year if it pans out that way?
Keen for any talent to come to our club, but thankfully it's not my job to worry about that.
Given the progression that 4 wins last year to 8 wins next year, do you have expectations that you should be pushing for finals?
If we can keep on that trend and double our wins year on year, that would be handy. I think it would be foolish to set an expectation level. Ideally, we move forward, we win more games than we did this year, but our season finished yesterday, so it's a little premature to be looking to our win-loss ratio next year.
Back in the day, there used to be mad Mondays. What happened to the club?
It's more of a tame Monday these days. We've got 16 players playing for Peel. We've got another 6 or 8 having surgery either last week or this week. So there's only a handful of us that'll gather for lunch and a few beers today, but it's pretty tame.
Do you train with them then, the Waffle Boys, or do you now take a break and come back for
No,
you?
it's a break from here.